You're listening to Careers and Cocktails, career talk with a twist, hosted by expert recruiter Renee Frey. Let's get this party started.
Hey party people, welcome back to Careers and Cocktails. Today I'm thrilled to be making a delicious mocktail called a Good Morning Sunburst, and the recipe was recommended by one of our listeners, Johnny Campbell. So thank you so much, Johnny Campbell. What you'll need for this cocktail is ice, a sprig of rosemary, grenadine, orange juice, and sparkling water. So super simple. What you'll do is you'll add half cup of OJ, and I'm just going to eyeball it here without measuring. Half cup of OJ, 8 ounces of sparkling water, which I made on my soda stream because that's my favorite. It helps, it's got a lot of fizz. So we will add 8 ounces of that. But when I make the water in my soda stream, I feel like I'm helping the environment because this bottle is reusable, and then I'm not, purchasing any sparkling water in bottles as well. So I like to be environmentally conscious when I can. And then 2 tablespoons of grenadine, and it says to pour that in slowly. And I'm sure it's because you want to get it to the bottom. Kind of similar to a tequila sunrise. Oh, this is so pretty. And then you will add the mint sprig. Oh, and then that kind of stirred it up a little, but you can see it kind of looks like a sunset in there. Super cool. Now I'll take a sip. Oh, that's delicious. And my new favorite thing to add to any drink is rosemary. It's so fragrant. Another recommendation we have is you could add gin if you wanted to make it into a cocktail. Another recommendation, we have 2 recommendations today, is if you have your ice cube tray and you fill it in with orange juice and then have the orange juice in the ice and you add that in, the orange juice slowly melts. And wouldn't that be a beautiful thing? Hey party people, welcome to Careers and Cocktails. Today I am so thrilled because we are answering our fans' questions. And that's why I have my laptop in front of me. Get ready for some dynamite questions and my responses. Let's jump in. So the first question is from Julie from Minnesota. Are cover letters necessary? Let me tell you about cover letters. I worked at Target Corporation in the past, and I have about 2 decades of recruiting experience. And I think I've read 2 cover letters in that entire time, and I've hired thousands of people for companies across the nation. Let me tell you why I read those 2 cover letters. So one of them, the individual applied to a technology position at Target, and for some reason, his background didn't seem strong enough from his resume. So I looked to see if there was a cover letter, and there was. And this candidate wrote a phenomenal cover letter basically saying he knew he had gaps and he wasn't the ideal candidate. However, he learned quickly and gave examples of that and showed his passion for our organization. So he actually got an interview. I called him for an interview to screen him for the role because of that cover letter. Now, I would tell you nowadays, cover letters, I think, are really becoming obsolete just because there's higher volume of applicants that are being funneled through applicant tracking systems, and people don't have time to read them. So I would say take the time that you would spend on a cover letter, put that time into your resume, make your resume the best version. And if you can get it down to 1 condensed page, that will be incredible and allow you to stand out. So I would take that time that you would take normally drafting a cover letter and put that time into your resume and focus more on that. So great question, Julie. And I pulled up a statistic from SHRM, which is the Society for Human Resource Management. They recently did a study and found 84% of employers use social media to recruit job applicants. So again, sharing that the cover letter, don't waste your time. Next, Andre from Pennsylvania wants to know how to stand out amongst the competition during interviews. This is an easy response. Well, I shouldn't say that. I don't want to offend anybody. But I say during interviews to stand out, you want to use the STAR format, and that's the ace up your sleeve. Actually, the ace up your sleeve is the Star Wars format, and that is a term that I came up with. And we're going to walk through what Star Wars means. So I'm sure a lot of you have heard behavioral-based interview questions. Tell me about a time when blah, blah, blah. And what the people on the other side want to hear is the STAR format. And let me walk you through what that means. So S is what the situation was. T stands for task. So you're going to explain the task you had to complete. A stands for action. So you're going to explain the actions you took to complete the task. And then R is the result. What was the result of your efforts? And then lastly, the wars piece, and I use wars, but I'm really just looking for that W. And the W is, what did you learn in that situation that you apply to future situations? Because we all know that the examples you're going to give are going to be where you had success in these tasks and projects. And what that wars piece signifies is that even though you were successful in this project, you're always thinking of how to improve and get better, and it just takes your response full circle. And I guarantee your competition that's interviewing for the same job isn't adding in that wars methodology. Now, I get this question where people ask, do I give specific examples for questions that interviewers are asking me, even if they're not behavioral based? Hell yes. The more examples you can give with specific situations, the more you stand out. And it's proven that past performance indicates future performance. So if you say, I did this, this, and this, here's how I did it, and you have a very specific example, that makes your message even powerful and you will stand out. Interviewers and hiring leaders can't stand these generalities or, oh, I would do this, or I haven't encountered that. So you've got to have those specific examples. So to stand out with interviewing, Andre, you got to use the Star Wars method. Luke from Ohio, his question was, is it necessary to send thank you emails after interviews? Hell yeah. And I got to say, think about this. If candidate A, and I know sign language, so we'll use sign language. If candidate A sends a thank you letter and candidate B doesn't, who do you think is going to get called back for additional rounds if they thought the candidates were equal? You guessed it, candidate A. Another thing, though, you can use with these thank you emails is anything that you maybe messed up on in the interview or you didn't articulate the best, you can add that in and fix it. Fix your communication from maybe something you botched in the interview. You can fix it in your thank you email. Another thing is you can always extrapolate on something that you failed to mention as well. So a thank you email is twofold. One, thanking them for their time. Two, telling them that you're interested. And remember, looking for a new job and hiring, the recruiting process is just like dating. Who's going to make the first move and say they're interested? If you say you're interested, that makes you stand out as well. And lastly, you will provide them all of your contact information. And at the end, you say, if you have any additional questions, I'm here to answer them. So just reach out. So those are the keys in your thank you email. So it's way more than just saying, thanks for your time and interviewing me for the role. So definitely use thank you emails for sure. Now, Janelle from Wisconsin wants to know if there's one tip you could recommend when looking for a job, what would it be? This is my favorite. Become an employee referral. And you're thinking, how the hell do I become an employee referral, Renee? Well, let me tell you. When you are going to apply to a position, we'll say ABC company, you're going to apply at ABC company. Go to your LinkedIn, your Facebook, your Twitter, and you find all your friends that work at ABC company. And then you call them or you text them and you say, hey, I saw this job at your company and I would love to become an employee referral. Would you be able to submit me as a referral? 9 times out of 10, everyone wants to help each other. So your friend's going to be like, hell yeah. And guess what? Most companies have a referral bonus. So if they refer you and you get hired, they're probably going to get a gift card or money. So it's a win-win. So then you get submitted as an employee referral. And you know what happens on the back end? You go from general candidate to referral candidate. And referral candidates immediately go to the top of the candidate pile. And there's even some companies that I know that have their recruiters have service level agreements, commitments to their company that they have to physically look at these referral resumes. For example, one company I know is 10 days. They have to look at the referral resumes and in 10 days, disposition them, either figure out if they're going to interview them or put them in the recycle bin. So the chances of your resume being viewed skyrockets when you are submitted as an employee referral. So that is my one golden tip for every job seeker out there. Next question is from Rakita in Minnesota, who's graduating this year and has an internship. She wants to know the biggest piece of advice regarding her career during COVID. And she wrote, everything has felt so uncertain. How can I continue to grow myself during this chaotic time? Great question, Rakita. And thank you for your honesty on how you're feeling. First of all, congrats on your internship. That is a secret weapon to stand out and to get hired. So according to the National Association of Colleges and Employers, 52% of interns are offered full-time jobs. So what I would say to you, Rakita, as far as in your internship, is go above and beyond what's asked of you. Ask for additional assignments. Speak up if you have ideas on how to do things more efficiently. Ask for feedback and don't take it personally, but definitely ask for feedback. And there's so many ways you can stand out. And the last thing I want to mention is build strong relationships with your coworkers. This gives you the opportunity to not only expand your network, because hopefully that company will hire you on full time, but if they don't, those people that you have built these relationships with that have seen your work will be able to refer you to people within their network and connect you with others. So keep that in mind. Now, regarding the uncertainty, I'd say take it one day at a time. That's kind of how we're all operating, right? We're taking it one day at a time. That's all we really can do. Our country will recover, and I'm confident jobs will bounce back. And not to get too deep into thoughts, but thoughts truly become your reality. So I would say when you're thinking negative thoughts, stop yourself, write it down on a piece of paper, and then ask yourself, how true is that? And 9 times out of 10, the answer is it's not true. And then what I want you to do is rewrite your statement in a positive manner. So an example is if you're thinking, this is supposed to be the best time of my life, graduating college, instead it sucks and I feel so isolated. You can change that thought to, this is an exciting time. What an accomplishment I have made graduating college. We are so fortunate to have technology to connect with others. That's just one example. And another tip, which at first I was resistant to, is meditation. Meditation has loads of benefits to help you reduce stress, manage anxiety, depression, improves self-awareness. For me, it has literally changed my life, and I do it 10 minutes a day. It's so simple, 10 minutes a day. The app that I use is Headspace. It's super easy, simple, and I love it. It's probably one of my productivity hacks for anyone because it will improve your life 100 million times over. So definitely look into that. I loved getting all of these questions, and thank you to everyone who's reached out. Listeners, if you have questions, email cheers@careersandcocktails.com, and you get bonus points if you throw in your favorite recipe of a cocktail that we can feature right here on Careers and Cocktails. And I'm happy to answer all the questions that you have in another episode. And I am so grateful that you have listened. Please drop us a review anywhere that you listen to podcasts, and we will see you soon. Cheers.